My name is Daniel Sword, and I have the great privilege to meet Thomas Bühner from Osnabrück in Germany here today. In the 98, you got your second star, and in 96, you got your first star, and in 2011, you got your third Guide Michelin star.
Yes.
Congratulations to keeping it for so many years and going in the right direction from 1 to 2 to 3.
Thank you.
Welcome to a conversation about motivation, about inspiration, and the love of the game and the love of the food. Mm-hmm. You're a food artist, a German food artist.
No, my team is.
Yeah,
it's always a team. When you
teamwork.
Take congratulations for 3 stars, I always thinking, oh, please send it to the team. Without the team, I'm nothing.
Yeah.
But I know I'm the man in the front, and thank you very much.
And how important is it to get us? We're the audience, with the eaters, the guests of the house. In the meeting between the guests and you as an artist, is it in that interaction that the magic is being created?
Yeah, it's very important for me to talk to guests, to see my guests. Since more than 1.5 years, we invite them in the kitchen. For meet and greet, I have to talk to them. I want to hear their opinion, their critics, whatever. But sometimes I can follow, sometimes not. But you are my guests.
Yeah, and your first memory of food, was it when you were a little kid? Sauerkraut and
when we visit my grandma, they have really fresh bread with butter and Westphalian ham. That's a thing I can never forget.
And during your childhood, what were your dreams of becoming? Was it a firefighter as the rest of us?
No plans the whole time. And that's the reason the teacher asked me, go to the working agency and do a test. They can test you, and they will find out what your preferences are. And so I do a 6 hours testing.
Yeah.
And at the end, it was a baker, farmer, or cook.
Yeah.
That's the reason now I'm a cook.
And these 3 occupations, they're quite close together nowadays, because the farmers interact with the chefs, and the bakers interact with the chefs. It's in the modern art of cooking. It's all interconnected.
Everything. Be a farmer. My grandparents were farmer, but they have cows and pigs and some land. So that's the beginning of everything.
Yeah. And growing up, your parents, what did they do?
My mother was a housewife, and my father worked in how to explain it in English, in an office.
Yeah.
So nothing to do with good kitchen.
And the German cuisine, what do you think of that? Growing up 50 years in Germany.
I'm not the biggest fan of German cuisine. It's very, very heavy in the north part of Germany. So I think real German cuisine starts in the south part. I think the best German cuisine we have in the Black Forest, in this area, with fresh products. But here in the north of Germany, it was more poor kitchen.
And how would you describe the German kitchen today? Is it of international class or?
We have 11 3 Michelin star restaurants. They are all very different, and that's the biggest thing in Germany. We have a big variation in the kitchen, and very high class kitchen. But the problem is the Germans are too shy to tell it all over the world.
Yeah.
The German Tourism Board has 2018 the culinary year, and I asked them, what can I do for you for the culinary year of Germany? And then they say, nothing, your kitchen is not German. We want to have sauerkraut, Eisbein, Pier, Weißwurst, pretzel, and all these things Germany is well known for.
And if we should test one German dish, which is the best one, you think?
The best one? Easier questions, please. The best German dish.
Not invented yet.
Lentil soup. I like pear soup, something like that.
Yeah.
But
nowadays, the beer is getting quite popular in the restaurants as well. You have beer tasting menus. You have microbreweries all over the world, and Germany is a founding father of many of the beer giants today. What do you think of the beer culture?
I know that you never believe me, but I have never drank a glass of beer in my whole life. No beer. I don't like the taste of beer, so I can't talk about beer really.
Yeah.
With a deep knowledge. If you like to drink beer, you're warmly invited to drink a glass of beer, also in the 3 Michelin star restaurant. On a warm summer day, friends of mine told me it's the best starter in the evening, better than champagne. But
you keep a fit body without beer.
Yeah.
And you keep a fit body because you work so much. You work at least 80 hours a week?
Yes, around that. No, work doesn't help. You have to make sport.
Yeah.
But I have to make more.
And tell us about your daily routines. How do they look like?
All working days are nearly the same. I start at 9 o'clock in the morning, so I have a little bit time in the office or some things to do I need to do, and then around 10, between 10 and 12, the team comes in the kitchen, and then we start. 2:30 we have a meeting to talk about the day. Everybody has to have the same knowledge for the day, and around 5:30 we clean up the kitchen. We have finished the mise en place, we clean up the kitchen. 6 o'clock we have a team dinner, and then we start in the evening. And at that point I'm in the kitchen. Now, before I'm more manager, but then I go in the kitchen and I'm on the poissonnier. My head chef Timo Fritsche, he makes the pass, the announcement and everything. He organizes that, and I'm the one who does the work, and I love it. I never want to be the manager of something. I'm a chef and I want to cook, and I love to make it and to prepare it. And later in the evening I go in the restaurant, talk to the guests, have some contact with them, and then around 12 o'clock it's done.
12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
It's a long. What you do in the spare time? Do you have any passions or hobbies on the side of cooking?
No skiing, no golf, no hobbies in the moment.
and you know, for the next generation, for the coming chefs, for the competition in 20 years from now, what could you be your 3 pieces of best advice for them if you want to be a top chef?
Be nice to your colleagues. Maybe you need them in the future.
Yeah.
That's stay open-minded, and because we have so many influences in the world and so much wonderful and good things, and don't forget the service. Teach them also. That's my 3 advices.
And how has you developed as a chef yourself? You started out in the 18, 19, 20 years old. Yeah. And now you cooked for several decades. How do you see your own development?
I'm open for so many things. So for me, it's important to go out to see. I can find new things on the market, in the street, in magazines, wherever. So open your eyes and see what happens, and then follow them. But never forget your own style.
And the failures in the kitchen, they often lead to new experiences and new ideas. And tell us about that, because a lot of us we fear failure.
The most famous is a lemon tart from Massimo Bottura. Fails in the kitchen, falls down, the lemon tart, and then now he said, "Whoops, it's dropped." But in the last years, I know some things like that. Fails happen, and then you can create something new. But in the last 5 years, it stops totally in our kitchen. We try out something, and I have it in my mind how it has to be, and then it's done.
Yeah. And
it's more perfect than in the past. It's not so much feeling. We write everything down. We have recipes for everything, and then the team has to follow the recipes. That's it.
And as a leader of the 30 people you employ, how are you? What's your leadership style?
You have to ask the team.
But you don't have to scream and shout as other chefs.
Yeah. I ask a lot. I ask them, so what's your opinion? How can we do that? And then I ask 2 or 3 or 4 of them, and at the end I have a feeling how I want to make it. I'm not the one who say that's the right way. I work together with a team. That's it. Every day, 5 o'clock, we make a team meeting with sommelier, maître of the restaurant, and my PR and Timo, the head chef, and the chef pastry. We come together and we discuss it. What do you think about the price of the menu? Can we go higher, or what is the problem when we go higher with the price? I discuss all these questions, also stupid questions, with the team. And at the end of the day, I have a feeling what we do.
And you have a 6-course menu and a 9-course menu?
Yes.
How often do you refresh them?
It's more evolution than revolution.
Yeah.
We change one course, then later the next one. So in Germany now, spring is starting. Everybody knows asparagus time starts now. This weekend we expect 20 degrees. So perhaps maybe we can start with something new, asparagus. I have an idea what we can do, but we have to see the quality of the asparagus. And then we start next week with something new. And next one, maybe in May, beginning of May, the first roebucks come. So that's a good point to change the main course. And we follow the season and not the meaning of the people that you have to change the menu every 4 weeks or whatever.
And tell us about that moment when you got your 3rd Michelin star. Was it stars coming up above in the sky and
yes.
Birds were singing and you were on a walk in the forest?
It makes me goosebumps when you talk about it. It was a great moment, unbelievable. So when I talk about it, I have always this crazy moment for me and the whole team. And
what happened? You got the call?
Yes, Sunday afternoon I got a call and they asked me to tell nothing to nobody. I have to swear that I hold the secret, and next day they proclaim it at around 4 o'clock, so 24 hours I have time to think about what happened. For the night we organized a party with the team. And then we celebrated.
And
you
as a boxer, they say it's more easy to get the heavyweight championship than to keep it. You kept your title now from 2011, 7 years.
Yeah, other chefs have it 20 years. Bocuse 50 years. So 6 years is not such a big challenge. But yeah, it's hard, because you have to know if you have more of the 3 stars, 19 points, you are highly rated in all the magazines, and the people expect more. It's not so easy to surprise them because everything is normal. That makes it harder. But if I think we follow our way, we know that what we have to do, and then if the guests are happy, Michelin must be also happy. I hope so.
And who inspired you?
Different things, to talk with people. Every Saturday morning I go to the market here in Osnabrück. We have a nice market close to the cathedral, and a farmer's market, to see the products inspires me. We have a garden. It's not really our garden, but we can use it like our own. If you go there and you see the small pea sprouts or bean sprouts, you have radish and carrots in different qualities, sizes, whatever. That inspires me.
And which ones do you think has been the greatest chefs throughout history?
Sorry?
The greatest chefs in the history.
Paul Bocuse, Eckhard Witzigmann. There are so many. I can't remember all. But Harald Wohlfahrt, he finished last year, was very important for me. So many chefs around the world are worth to remember.
And great chefs do when they stop, because when you're building a company like a cloth brand or a jewelry brand, you can sell it and you can let it on to your children. But with a restaurant, it's much more harder.
Yes.
When the chef leaves, the business is put down.
Yes.
Tell us about that. Can that torch, that Olympic torch, it's hard to give to someone else to keep the race going.
Yeah, that's hard, but it's also a good position for me. Yeah? And when I'm not at La Vie, it's done. Makes it also worthy.
And you have a financial backing. The person who owns your big house also invest in your restaurant.
He's the owner of a steel company close to Osnabrück. That's the main reason we are in Osnabrück. And he's the owner of the house and of the company.
And to keep a 3-star restaurant, is it like a Formulette stable? Do you have to invest a lot of money, a lot of resources?
To have such a restaurant is like a flower bed in the desert. You have to water it every day.
And they say that when you have a 3-star restaurant, it's worth a journey on its own.
Yes, we have guests from all over the world. So many guests saw this. It's worth to visit.
And the role as a chef. I mean, 25, 30 years ago, the chefs that had big tattoos on the arms and they were staying in the kitchen. Now they're like, you're like cloth designers and movie stars. How has that development? What's your thought on that?
I'm a Westphalian. I stand really close to the ground, so I have no tattoos, no of these things. I don't feel like a film star or like a TV star or something like that. I work in the kitchen, that's it.
And do you see your work as an artist or as a craftsman, or?
In the kitchen it's craftsman. But outside the kitchen it has to look like artist's work.
Yeah.
So at the end it's a kind of art.
And do you think other industries could draw some lessons from your restaurant? You have great service, you have a great product, you have great natural resources. What can we learn the rest of the entrepreneurs around the world?
I think discipline you can learn from all kitchens around the world. We need a lot of discipline to do that.
And what does it require to be a great chef? Discipline is one. What's the other ingredients?
You have to love what you do. I think love it's a really big thing. When you hate it, you can't do it. So you have to like it. You have to have a good team around you. That's also important. Like Formula One, you are nothing. When you're a good driver without a car, you are nothing. If you're a driver and you have a good car, without a team, you are nothing. And you need everybody in the team.
And is it easier to recruit new great staff when you have this cutting edge restaurant?
I don't know if it's easier. In the moment, it's hard. We have had an international team for many years from Singapore, from Korea, from Canada, from Korea, Poland, whatever, name it. But now the Germans say, so we have too many refugees in the country. We stop everything. We have no chance to hire somebody from Argentina or from Korea. It's really hard. So we have to concentrate more of Europe, and that makes it much more harder.
And have you been traveling around the world as a guest chef?
No. Yeah, guest chef. Sometimes, so we visit Korea, Macau, Hong Kong, Bangkok, Singapore, America, whatever.
And you then bring your own cuisine to them, or do you mix?
Yes. No, we never mix. They invite me to bring my cuisine to the countries, and that's the reason we go. So no mixing. I don't have to go to Thailand to show them curry sauce. To teach them how to work with papayas. They know it.
And you have your own garden.
Yeah.
Tell us about that, because I'm just gonna make a garden myself here. How should you great the Garden of Eden?
I'm not sure how big your garden is. Ours is more than 4,000 square meters. So I can say maybe the biggest vegetable garden in Germany. And it's not a garden where you have one row after the other, potato or beans or something. It's mixed with flowers, so it's a beautiful garden. It's not, and when you come in, you think, okay, you have a lot of products, but is it enough? But it's so much beans, so much zucchini, artichokes, radish, carrots, whatever. It's amazing, the quality when you grab the green of the carrots, take them out of the earth, and the smell of the carrots is so fantastic.
And how do you make a great garden? Is there some special ingredients?
In the garden?
Yeah, how do you make a great garden? Because I mean, all of us have carrots, but
we only go there to harvest. There's the owner of the garden. It's a show garden. They have perhaps you know from England that they have show gardens around the castle. It's a tulip garden, rose garden, and the owner has different gardens around his castle, and one of it is a vegetable garden. And because they have so much, they ask me, do you want to use it? And I was stupid when I say no.
And if you have like diabetes, do you have any advice on how to eat, how to refresh your body?
Not really. I know we have a guest who has this. He eats a lot of vegetables, bitter vegetables, and it helps him a lot. But I'm not a doctor, so no really good advices. Because for me, to visit La Vie from the point of the guest is like you visit an opera. It's only 1 or 2 times a year or 3 times. It's a highlight for them, and so we have make a highlight evening for them, and that's the reason we have not so many problems with that.
And,
yeah, it's not daily business for them.
No. And we in Sweden, we just got our first 3-star restaurant in Stockholm, Franzén.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for us how to develop our cuisine to get 2, 3, 4, 5, 11 3-star restaurants like you have in Germany?
I don't know all the Swedish 2 stars, but I think don't worry. We wait so many years for the 3rd star, and continuously is also the secret. Do your job, and every day better and better. And when a journalist asked me, what do you think now, in the moment we get the 2nd star, he asks you, what do you want to do the next years? And then I say, I want to fight for 3 stars.
Yeah.
Why I want to fight for 3 stars? Yeah, because I'm afraid that I lose my 2nd star when I don't fight for the 3rd.
Yeah. And can you see a difference in quality in your own kitchen between the 1, 2, and 3 stars, or is it only the perception of Guide Michelin?
No, we changed everything during the time. We really changed everything. There's no relationship between 1 and 3 stars.
And so it's kind of disruptive to restart, but it's also a big risk. Ordinary people aren't, they don't want to take big risks like restart, reboot the whole company. Where did you get that courage from?
And when you want to build, we decide to build a hotel. So in the planning, on the paper, we can fix, do we want to have 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars. It's easy to plan a hotel with 5 stars, but you can't plan a restaurant with 3 stars. You can work the whole day hard for it. You can try to be better and better every day, but you can't plan it.
And how do you keep that consistent quality night after night after night? Because if you're running an opera, you have 10 nights you have to perform at top, but you have to do it every night.
For me, it's the most important thing is you have to trust your team. So we talk about how we want to have it, and that's it. And when it's not in the same quality, when the fish comes in and it's not in a good shape or whatever, they have to tell me what can do, and then I can decide what we do. We can change the menu, we can make it new, we can change everything. Inside the kitchen, it's only for us. But when it crosses the path and it goes out, everybody can see. That's an important moment. And at that moment, it must be perfect. And the people has to know that. And in the last moment, 2 minutes before we are plating, they can say, stop, we have to stop. I think it's too salty, or it's too dark, or whatever. Or I forget the carrots, or some stupid things. I never say something. We stop everything and we start new. And because I know the most important moment is when the service takes a plate and brings them out. You can do nothing.
Yeah.
When the chicory on one side it's burned and they put the dark side down, I can't see. The guest will see.
And how many of the guests are able to spot that quality? Because all the audience.
I can't read notes, but I like music, so it's not important if you can see or imagine how much work it is, and if you can taste it. You remember the moment Paul Potts was so like a superstar in radio, in TV, with his Messum Dorma when he sings it. When you have a great moment, you can feel it. You don't.
And if you want to learn to taste wine, you can go on different courses and you can read about it. And how do you learn to spot great food? How do you train that?
You have to eat it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. And if you don't like it, it's not good.
Yeah.
Not enough. But I'm sure I've never eaten the best banana. I have a feeling how banana tastes in Germany, but it must be really different when you go to Ecuador and eat real fresh bananas.
And we ordinary people, can we learn something from a top star restaurant? Yeah. Can we take something into our own kitchen? Some lessons.
Yeah, the most important for me is that you really see what happened. Huh? So many people now. I told you in Germany, spring starts. When I go to the market tomorrow, they buy asparagus or strawberries, and because it's really long and wide. And that's it. And they eat it at home and they don't feel the bitterness inside. Or when they buy strawberries, you have not the taste of strawberries. You have the taste of green leaves, nothing more. So when you eat it, please concentrate on the taste. Don't newspaper or watch TV during you eat something. Concentrate on the taste. And when you don't like it, it's not good. When it's not strawberry, you can do it with children. Give them a red and a yellow bonbon, same taste, but with the yellow one, they say, this is lemon. Yeah? But when you are open, you feel the yellow one was blueberry or whatever.
And is it a bit like mindfulness? Be here now, be in the present when you eat?
Yeah. Yes, that's it.
And I mean, with wine, we have Rickard Julin in Sweden, the most... the highest rated champagne taster. Mm-hmm. But with food, do you think everyone can be their own good recensent, or is it just some people that has this quality to taste the purest taste?
I think you can learn it. Perhaps not like the best one in the job. Everybody can learn driving car, but not everybody at the end is a Formula One racer. So, but you can learn it. Now in the springtime, when you have in some weeks, we have the elderflowers. Smell it. And if you smell it, you never forget it. Or the wild garlic. No? When you put it between your fingers and smell it, how beautiful it is. And then you can use it. And you never forget it.
And you live only 30 meters from your restaurant in this beautiful house we see behind you. When you get into your own kitchen, how do you cook for yourself and your wife?
Never cook. I never cook at home. My wife does. When I cook, so if you want to come to visit me and I have to cook, I guess we eat some cheese and some nice bread, a good wine, and that's it. I'm not a hobby cook in the kitchen. And sometimes a year, so Christmas, Sylvester, I cook for my wife and the family. But I have a lot of respect for people say, okay, it's for me, it's I can come down during I'm in the kitchen, but I'm too long time in the kitchen.
And how does your wife cook?
Very good.
Do you give her 1, 2, or 3 stars?
I can give her all stars. She makes it good in the kitchen, but simple things, very different. But she wants always some advice. What can I make better? But when it's good, it's good. I like it.
And you invited your child to Geranium in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
To feel all the sensory tastes.
Yeah.
It seems like that have been inherited, the ability to spot great food in your family.
From the first moment he eats alone, we told him he has to try everything. He has to taste it. He can explain me why he don't like it. So chicorée is too bitter for me or something like that. But there's nothing you can say, I don't like it. That's, I don't allow. So, and he has to try everything, kidneys, horse, whatever. And then we show him everything, fish, and no doubt he never comes to a table and say, I can't eat, I don't like it. He likes everything, and he has an opinion about what he eats. And what I told you is a day we decide to visit Geranium, but I can't go, so I asked my son to go and to tell me later in the night when he's back what he thinks about and what he eats, and he can repeat all the courses. He can explain everything, and that was really fantastic.
And when you speak about food, because when you speak about wine, there's a special language and phrases you use. How do you speak about food and the tastes?
In Germany, we don't have phrases about, like, if you talk about wine, you have this beautiful language to talk about. But in Germany, we don't have. When we talk about food, we can talk about textures, we can talk about taste, we can talk about hot and warm, salty, sweet, spicy or not. That's it.
And I'm a father of 5 small kids myself.
Oh.
Yeah, so I have a small restaurant here every night. What advice can you give to families? How do we introduce and develop the kids tasting?
If you eat vegetables, kids also eat vegetables. If you say, I don't like, they also wouldn't like. When children tell me that they don't like broccoli, I have to say, okay, perhaps the broccoli of your mother I also don't like. Because but I can explain, there's no product in the world what is not delicious. You have to make it delicious when you're a good chef.
And do you have any preferences across Italian food or Japanese food, or which kitchen do you think is the best?
For me, the Italian kitchen is the most famous around the world. You go to Vietnam in a simple hotel and you find pizza, pasta, and all these things. You can't find goose liver, oysters, never. So Italian kitchen is the most popular kitchen in the world for me, in my opinion. But I like all these kitchens. I like the Asian kitchen. I like Mexican. So many. Last year I visited Lebanon. It's such a wonderful, tasty kitchen. Beautiful. So nice things we eat there. So all over the world you find nice things.
I traveled 65 countries myself, but when I was in India, it was the last time I ate Indian food because of the spices. How they use a lot of spices in your restaurant. What about spices?
Sometimes we make it a little bit spicy. We use a lot of spice, but never that it's too hot for the guests. And when it has to give a small pick, so 1 minute it's spicy and then it must be done. No need that they can't eat the following courses.
And in a cutting edge kitchen, you have 30 employees. How many guests can you have a night?
Also around 30.
So 1-on-1.
1-on-1, yes.
It's an amazing quality. How do you kind of, when you want to become a 3-star restaurant, how do you set about what you do? Tell us about that journey of yours.
The thing is easy. From my point, when I go in a 3 Michelin star restaurant, what I expect that's the same we do there. So I want to have somebody who opens the door of the car, the door of the restaurant, to tell you hello. you have had a nice trip, enjoy the evening, and then you come into the restaurant, there's somebody who says, thank you for coming, and we bring you to the table, and all these luxury things I want to have, we have to make there. That's easy. And also in the kitchen. What I expect from a visit in the street Michelin restaurant, we want to give our guests.
And when you go as a guest, do you get a discount or do you have to pay the full price at Geranium?
At Geranium, I don't know, but sometimes they're good friends of mine. Sometimes I get a discount, but that's not the reason to go in a restaurant, to get a discount. I want to have a nice evening.
Yeah.
I want to have nice time with my wife. That's the reason we go in a restaurant. You told me you have 5 kids. If you go in a restaurant together with your wife, you have 4 hours or 5 hours where you have time to talk, to think about, to celebrate a nice evening and all these things. That's what we deliver.
And you told us you have about 1,000 different wines in your cellar.
Yeah.
Which is the most expensive ones?
Oh, I think the 45 Chateau Petrus.
Ah. And how do you know it's authentic? I saw some documentaries about wine because food, you can't copy it. You can't do anything. It always tastes if it's great or not.
Oh, you can make caviar from everything.
Yeah. But
yeah, I think we have really good suppliers, and I think it's authentic.
And which is the most undervalued parts? Is it vegetables or fish or for the common Joe in the street? Because we use a lot of meat nowadays at home in the US and in Europe and so on. What do you think? What should we bring to the table?
Much too much meat. We no discussion. We all can reduce the meat we use, and when we eat meat, it must be in a much more better quality. That will help everybody. It will help you're healthy. It will help the farmers and everything. So perhaps that's the biggest challenge in the future. We have to go to more quality.
What do you think will be the coming decade or the coming generation? How will the cuisine, how will the kitchen internationally develop? It has happened a lot during the last 10 years.
I'm really not sure. I hope that we can stop the trend for to go. It makes me crazy when I see in Germany everybody has something to go. You eat. For me, to sit down at the table, it has a really strong social aspect.
Yeah.
Together with people you talk about, and when your way of life is breakfast, lunch, and dinner to go, you're alone. Not with friends. You can't talk about it. It's not worth to talk about it. You can send WhatsApp during you eat, but you never talk to real people. No. And I hope that we can stop this trend and people come back to the table. It's also not important what you eat, but I think it's important to sit down at the table, to come together with your family, with your friends, with your colleagues or whatever. So, but young people, children, they learn it in school. Ring, school bells ring.
Yeah.
Take your sandwich and go out and eat.
Yeah.
But so I start here to fight that the people sit together at the table. They can share their breakfast at the school or whatever. But this to go makes me crazy.
And so you want a little bit more slow food?
Yes.
and to share the experiences with your friend and family.
Yeah.
How is it to eat alone compared to eating with a friend or the family?
Sometimes I go alone in a restaurant and I really like it sometimes. Normally I want to share the experience, the evening with friends, with my wife, with family.
And can you spot when it's someone from the Guide Michelin or from another magazine? Does he come alone? Does he sit in the corner? Can
No,
you spot?
sometimes I have a feeling, but no, you can't say it's before.
It's random.
Yeah.
And the most expensive tap, what's a night? Have you? Is it 10,000 euros or 100,000 euros or?
Persons 20,000 euros. But it's
and is it the wine that?
That's not so. Many people ask that, but I think it's not so interesting. If you go every night out in such a restaurant, it's for them it's okay. It's only one day, but we have had guests coming from Berlin or wherever and told me, you have to know, this is the 50th anniversary of my wife, and she talks for more than 2 years that she wants to visit you, and we are so happy to be here, and we save our money for 2 years to enjoy this evening. When you destroy this evening, when the wife is 75, they talk about the disaster at that evening. So that is much more important as guests spend a lot of money.
And the food and wine experiences in life, we bring them with us throughout life. We remember the things we ate in our childhood and in the special moments. Which memories have you left behind to other people, you think? What's your most memorable dishes?
A lamb dish so many things. Like I've had a wonderful dinner at Per Se in New York. Michel Guérin, a lamb dish. It was my first 3 Michelin star restaurant I visited, but so many dishes I have to write a book about them.
Yeah, and you've written some books.
No.
But your recipes has been in some books. Which, if we would take one recipe from you, which would be the one to cook ourselves? Do you have any advice?
I think the easy and nice is a potato foam with the pumpkin curry ice cream. It's so easy and such a wonderful course. I can send you the recipe. It's warm and cold in the same time. It's so fluffy and a little bit spicy.
And the difference between being a chef and someone who is a journalist, someone who tastes all the different restaurants, because in literature I have a publishing house, and we have writers, and then we have the people who write the articles about them, and they often say that these are the ones who can't write a book themselves. What do you think the relationship between the people in the news magazines that write about your food and the chefs themselves?
I have, in the past, it was okay. I can't tell you a story where I have to say, okay, that doesn't fit. Sometimes they see more that I see in the course, or different things. But if you ask a painter, you're standing in a gallery just in front of the picture, and one of the people thinks there's an elephant, the next one say these are mountains or whatever. That is interesting that people in relationship to the background see different things.
And
have you seen the film Ratatouille with the rat? It's in Ratatouille.
Ratatouille, yeah, the movie.
Moment when the Michelin tester sat at the table and he said, "Oh, Ratatouille, it remembers me to my childhood."
Yeah.
And so that was the nicest moment in the film for me, because you see that to eat something, it has such a strong relationship with your background, with your life, with everything you have eaten before. And so for me, it's normal that different people see different things in our plates.
And how is important is you have the taste, you have the texture, you have the looks of the dish. What different components are there to a great dish?
Well, taste is the most important. If you have nice products, they have nice colors, they give a nice picture at the end. But the taste, interesting taste, is the most important. It's taste, not only.
And
for me, it's taste a little bit like, I have to think about how I can explain it. But if you see, you have a guitar and somebody plays the guitar, it could be nice, fireplace at the beach, and nice evening. But a guitar is only one taste for me. But if you have an orchestra and you have 25 different tastes in one plate, that makes it great. Guitar can be nice, orchestra could be great. And for me, it has to be an orchestra at the end of the day.
And on a plate, you have a carrot there, you have a mushroom there, you have the meat there. It's also how you combine them with the fork and the knife.
Yeah.
You put them into your mouth. If you put one single taste, or if you combine.
Yeah, it's a perfect plate is a spoon. Normally, you have to combine everything on the plate, and then you can decide this comes in the front, this comes behind, and then the people has to eat it like it is. But on the plate, you can. How do you start? Sometimes I eat the side dishes before, or I cut the beef at first, and you can mix it like you want. But all these combinations has to be nice.
And if you tell us just a little bit about your journey. You were born in a small German town.
Close to Osnabrück. Only 40 kilometers from here, but it was never the idea to go back to the roots. It happened.
And then your journey throughout different restaurants leading up to Osnabrück. Yeah. Tell us a few words about.
I started in Paderborn in a horrible restaurant. I thought it was a good one, but it was really not good. So after that, I go to Hilton Hilton Hotel in Düsseldorf, Günther Scherrer, and that was a kitchen I learned a lot, because they have a very good German kitchen, they have a Michelin star restaurant, and a banquet room with more than 1,000 guests. So you have to do everything, and that was a perfect place for me. After that, I go to Hamburg in a Michelin star restaurant. I go back to Westphalia in a restaurant where I have to do everything. So at the same time, I was a tourneur, saucier, entremetier, garde-manger, whatever they need, I have to do. And then back in a hotel to Hamburg. I also work in an Italian restaurant. I was the only German speaking in the kitchen, only Italians. That was a funny time. And then I go to Sylt, to Jörg Müller, to Michelin star restaurant. and then I go to Harald Wohlfahrt. I think he one of the most famous chefs from Germany, and the number one for many, many years. And there I learned a lot, not only from the kitchen side, from the cooking side, so also from the personal side, how he works with the team and everything. And then I make my master. After that, I work in a small restaurant close to Aachen, but only for half a year. And then I go to La Table. That's a restaurant we receive 1 star and later 2 stars. I have 19 points at Gomio. In 2006, we moved to Osnabrück. So that's the whole career in one sentence.
And today, what's your strengths and weaknesses as a chef?
I think to lead the team, to show them how we want to go, to see where they are strong and where I can make them stronger. That's the biggest thing in the moment. And the weak is how to find the good ones. You know? You can talk to people, but at the end, they have to be really team players. Not a team is not 10 Maradonas. Maradonas, that's not a team. You need individuals.
And going forward, how do you see yourself developing even further? Because when you reach the 3 stars, it's like reaching Mount Everest. How do you keep on climbing even higher?
3 stars is not the Mount Everest. To keep them for many years, that's the Mount Everest. Having 3 stars is only one of the basic things, and then it goes higher and higher. So lots of things to do. I think we want to make it more worthy, La Vie more famous. Perhaps we have an own shop. We try to start to make some own products. Be nice with different brands, and we have a tasty kitchen, our second restaurant, with a nice concept. Everybody sits. We have only 2 tables. Everybody sit together, so it's a very communicative place, and perhaps we can make some more nice things, nice restaurants, nice concepts. Not all in Osnabrück, maybe also around Germany or in the world. So we talk about some ideas, but I can't speak here about it.
And we see a lot of different chefs opening up a lot of restaurants in different places. Is that to develop themselves or just to make money? Because it seems hard to keep consistent quality when you're not in the kitchen as you are.
That's the challenge. That's the challenge. Yeah, but if you see Joël Robuchon or Alain Ducasse, they have many good kitchens with 3 stars, and they keep the quality in the kitchen. If you have a good team, it must be possible.
Thomas, warm thank you. Amazing journey throughout an amazing kitchen, and if we are going to come in contact with you, how do you where are you? In Osnabrück?
Yes.
What's your page address?
My webpage is thomasbühner.de, also for Instagram. So.
And then we all go, but you only have 30 places, so we have to reserve in advance.
Yes, please do it. But you can be sure I try my best that you can have a table.
Yeah, not drop in.
Yeah.
Thomas, warm thank you and the best of luck for the future and the coming years.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Nice to talk to you.